Hi everyone, welcome to the channel, and in this video we'll be making a small app using JavaScript. So it's a very basic app. So it's just a compound interest calculator. So here is the three sliders. First slider is for the investment amount, and second is the interest rate, and third is the years, mean the time you want to invest. And whenever you change that, it gets updated and showed in the bar chart here. So let's see. So we are making investment of 3 lakhs and for at the interest of 8% for 9 years. Okay, so as you can see, the charge gets updated whenever I toggle the or I change the slider value. Okay, so it's the, as you can see, the yearly total, quarterly total, and monthly total, and daily total. So here is a table that shows you investment return year by year of yearly, quarterly, monthly, and daily. So let's get started and make this app. Yeah. So as you can see, I'm totally focusing this video on the JavaScript part because I don't want to waste time on the designing things, because I'm assuming you are good at basic JavaScript, HTML, and CSS. Okay, so feel free to use your own editor, Atom, VS Code, whatever you want. Okay, so let's see. So this is the JS file that I'm using for the application. So here is the three values from the text box: the investment value, interest value, and the year value. These are the three text boxes that I wanna calculate based on the this interest rate, year, and amount. Okay, and sorry, so this is the three sliders: the investment slider, interest slider, and the year slider. Okay, these are the three sliders that we will be listening to the events for calculating or showing our invest amount, invest rate, and return. Okay, so for visualization of the chart or the bar chart, we will be using the chart.js library. It's a very awesome library. You can go to the chartjs.org website and see how does it works. So it's very easy to use, so no complexity there. So I'm defining the labels that I want to show. So, and the four colors that I have, and the label, and the border color, and the data is default for now, but we will be updating this based on our calculations of the interest rate. Okay, also I'm defining a table here. So this table is where we will be show our the this investment return year by year result. Okay, so this is the table. These are three text boxes, the three sliders, and the table. Okay, so we have used the plain JavaScript here. Okay, so these are the configuration for the chart.js to use. Okay, so finally we are defining the config constant for the chart type of bar, and the data, and the options. Okay, so basically we are creating the chart here. As you can see, it's a very minimalistic and simple example. I'm creating a chart of 400 pixels across 600 pixels with my chart ID. Okay, that I have defined in my HTML here. Okay, so on the load function of the windows, means so when the window loads, I'm setting some default values like the investment value, interest, and the year value. I'm setting to 10,000, 0.25, and it's just a default value, nothing much. So also I'm setting the default value for the slider as well, the investment slider, and the interest slider, and the year slider. It will execute when the window loads. Okay, so we're defining 4 variables here. I'm defining the investment amount, interest rate, total year that I will be investing, and the interest that will be calculating. Okay, so we are adding the input event listener for each slider. Okay, so whenever we are listening for the inputs, and means whenever this in slider is changed, the investment value gets updated. As you can see, when I change the slider, the investment value gets updated. Same for the interest rate, same for the interest years of investment. Okay, these are the three event listeners that will using to get the value reflected in the text boxes. Okay, same for the investment value means if I change this to let's say 10, the slider value gets also changed. If I say 18, the slider also gets updated. So it's kind of interrelated to related. So if I change the slider value, the investment amount gets changed, and when I do some input thing, it will also changes the slider and say these are binded to each other. Okay, basically these are the same, but this is the main logic that where we will be calculating the compound interest. Okay, and by default the n value is n 12 means the year of compounding. So it's just a basic formula, you can google it. So you are using the plain JavaScript here to calculate the interest. Means p the principal amount into math dot power of 1 plus r by n to the power n into t. So that's the standard formula. Okay, so for calculating the yearly, quarterly, daily and monthly interest, we have to vary the n value here. So for that we will be calculating that. This is the calculate button that it's not necessary, but I've just put it for just a dummy button. You can ignore it as well if you want. Okay, so this is the main function, update all data. So basically we are parsing the investment amount, investment rate and the total year as float and integer, and we are emptying the body section of the final table that I want to show the result on. So okay, so for each year means for the total year means for each year I have to calculate the interest and I have to show it in the table. So we are calculating the interest using the defined function, the compound interest function, and we are passing the investment amount, interest I means the total year of investment, interest rate, and the one means is one for the yearly thing. Okay, it's the yearly interest, so we are passing year one. Okay, so we are calculated the yearly interest here, then we are summing it up to get the total yearly rate. Okay, for quarterly we are passing the n is 3. Okay, then we are also summing up. Also for monthly we are passing 12, and for daily we are passing the n value is 365. Okay, so basically the yearly rate gives the yearly, compounding, quarterly, monthly and daily rate. It's just the logic for that. Also to get the data reflected in the bar chart, we are using the mychart.data sets. In the first value you are updating the first data value as yearly rate, secondly the quarterly, monthly and daily. Okay, so we are just using a simple formatter here and creating a row, as I'm running this under a for loop. So for each I'm creating a new row and inserting into the final table. Okay, so that's how my table is ready whenever the update all data function is called. Okay, so that's the logic, and here the function called print page, which lets you print the page and when you click the print button. And yeah, so I'm attaching the update for all data function to the all the investment value, interest value and the year value text box. So when I change that, all the update all data are executed. So this is the complete app. Okay, as you can see it's calculating perfectly fine, no bugs there. You can print if you want. Okay, so what do you think of this basic app? Okay, it's pretty basic, and also I'm using Bootstrap 5 for designing. Okay, so let me know in the comment section what do you think of this app. I will link to all the HTML, CSS and JavaScript in my GitHub repository or Azure DevOps. You can find the link in the description. Okay, see, let me know what do you think of this small project. Okay, if you want me to build the whole project in next time, or if you just want to get an overview like this, so tell me in the comment section. Okay, so that's it for now. I'll be back with a new project. Okay, so thank you for watching. Thanks.